So starting in a belly down, the towel or bolster is optional. Sometimes it feels good to have a little compression in the low belly. It just kind of stimulates the digestive organs there. If you have any cramping, sometimes it just feels a little bit more grounded to add a little bit of pressure there. I'm not going to use mine today. I'm just going to set it aside. And we'll make our way down to our belly, stacking the palms, one on top of the other. Let those elbows go as wide as you can. So you begin to open up without really even noticing the back of the shoulder heads and the pecs, and a little bit of opening through the collarbone. Let the legs go wide, maybe the toes point out to the side and the heels in. Rest the head on the back of the hands. Maybe take a little shimmy of the hips, particularly if you're using that bolster or towel underneath the belly, just to just bring a little bit of movement into that low belly area. And today is Friday the 13th, so I don't know if you're superstitious or not. But tomorrow's a big day. We have a new moon and a solar eclipse. And I think it's at 2 p.m., might be Eastern time, I'm not quite sure. But you might be able to see that ring around the sun tomorrow. So anyway, big things happening, whether you believe in Friday the 13th or not. Tomorrow is a truly real day. And new moon, again, generally is a time that we set an intention for the new lunar cycle. And again, it's like a New Year's resolution, but it's only for, 2 weeks. We go from new moon to crescent moon to full moon. So just as you rest here, maybe you think about whatever that intention is going to be, that short-term intention, to bring health back into the body, to bring some quietness into the mind, to settle whatever chaos you can settle. And we know that we do that with breath. So here, as you're resting on your belly, and you draw the deep breath in through the nose, maybe you feel the belly and the ribs expand and press into your mat. And as you exhale all the air out, maybe you feel the weight of the body sinking down onto the mat, feeling the support of Mother Earth underneath you. So take a couple breaths here and just feel the breath now on your mat, in your body. And then lengthen the exhales just to relax the body and quiet the mind. Take one more full breath in and pause that breath at the top so you feel the whole rib cage expand onto the mat. And as you pause the breath, release the breath then nice and slow. And just allow the body here to fully release. Today's practice is going to be a slow, grounded practice. So again, more concentration on the breath than the movement. On your next inhale, let's lift the torso, finding our Sphinx pose here. So maybe the elbows are shoulder distance apart, but right underneath the shoulders. And if you have any shoulder injuries, maybe you bring those elbows out an inch or so forward. Spread through your fingers, press your palms into your mat. Again, your feet can be however you want them. As you press your palms into the mat, drag them towards you so that you begin to get that lift through the chest, not up. We're not raising up, we're raising forward. And as you drag the palms towards you, maybe you begin to feel the opening from the belly button to the sternum. Take a moment here when you feel that lifting of the sternum. Squeeze the shoulder blades together on your back so that the shoulder tips roll back away from the ears. And just take a couple breaths here. Nice and easy. We'll bring the legs together at the back of the mat. Take a bend into your right knee and bring your right knee out to the side. So coming into this half frog position, we've got a 90-degree angle at the knee. The kneecap is in line with the hip. The ankle is in line with the knee. And we're resting on the inside of the foot. Again, dragging the hands back towards you, lifting the sternum, and see if you can relax a little bit into that right hip. Walking those right fingertips forward just a little bit. We're going to slip the left arm underneath the body over to the right, coming to rest on the back of the left hand, the left shoulder tip. And again, the block or your towel would be nice for your head. Take whatever support for the head you need. And maybe walk the right fingertips forward. So here we're getting a little bit of a stretch into the back of the left shoulder. As those right fingertips walk forward, we get a little bit of a stretch from that hip through the side body, underarm through the fingers. And just take a couple breaths here. And then working into both shoulders here. Walk those right fingertips back. See if you can find that half bind by bringing the back of the hand to the back body or over to the back left waist. Pressing the back of the hand into the body so that you begin to open up through the right shoulder tip. So a little bit of a difference of posing here. The bottom shoulder is opening through the back and the top shoulder is opening through the front. And just take some easy breaths. And then we'll release that bind, nice and easy. And then bring the palms together straight out so that your right palm is resting onto the left. And just take a moment to relax the chest, to relax the shoulders. And we're going to leave that knee exactly where it is. We're going to slide that top palm over the bottom palm all the way up the inside of the forearm as we roll onto our back body. The right leg stays exactly like it is, and we open the arms to a T. So coming into a gentle spinal twist. Again, you can support the right arm with a bolster or a pillow. If it doesn't reach all the way down, it's early and it doesn't matter. We're just getting a nice stretch through the pecs, the collarbone, a gentle twist through the spine, and again, that opening through the hip. Enjoy a couple breaths right here. A 3 for 1 or a 4 for 1. And on your next inhale, we'll take that right arm up towards the ceiling and back over to the left palm. And let's take that one more time. Take the right arm up towards the ceiling, let it open up towards the right, finding that figure or T position. Big breath to release the body. And then draw the arm back across. Let the chest rest. We're going to do it one more time, seeing if there's any more of an opening here. So big breath in. Again, the belly is in. That knee is still in line with the hip, and the ankle is still in line with the knee. Lift the right arm up towards the ceiling and take it over to the right. And here, maybe you pick up that left shoulder tip, scoot it over towards the left, and maybe there's a little bit more room to open up the arms to a T. So it doesn't take a lot of postures to work through the body. If you can just relax in here, you're working several areas all at one time, which is the power of a short practice. Beautiful. Bring the right arm back up to the ceiling. Let it fall back over to the left palm, and just soften through the shoulders. And then we'll bring the right palm right by our face in a push-up position. Press your body up so you can release that left arm. Come back to that, excuse me, Sphinx pose at half frog. Press into your palms again, drag your palms towards you, lifting that chest forward, sending the shoulder tips back as you squeeze through the shoulder blades. And then we'll release the right leg to meet the left. Take a little bit of a shimmy of the hips. And this time we'll walk the left fingertips a little bit forward so we can lift up just a bit, so we can slide the right arm underneath the body, resting on the back of the right hand, the right shoulder tip. Again, supporting the head with a towel or your block, just so that the neck isn't compromised here. So coming into this thread the needle modification, take that left knee now out directly from the hip. So the knee is in line with the hip, a nice 90 degree there, a 90 degree at the ankle. So we're flexing that foot and we're resting on the inside of the foot, the inner arch area. Walking the left fingertips forward. Again, getting that nice stretch through the side body. So I always say, see where you feel this, because that's obviously where you're going to be the tightest. Do you feel it in the shoulder? Do you feel it along the side body? Or do you feel it in this half frog position in the pelvis, inner thigh, or hip? And wherever you feel it, just send your focus there. And as you send your focus there, deepen your breath, lengthen your exhale, and see if you can just relax into the pose. Again, option to work into both shoulders by walking those fingertips back, lifting the arm up, and taking that half bind, bringing the left hand either to the side waist or resting on the back body. Press into the back of the hand. Let that help you rotate the chest and that upper shoulder tip back and away. Just notice your breath here. Notice where you feel it. We'll take one more breath. If you've got the bind, we'll release the bind. If you've got your hands forward, just walk them back towards your body. And let's place both palms now together on the side. So now your left palm is resting on top of your right palm. Arms extended to the sides, straight out of the shoulders. Chest is relaxed, shoulders are relaxed. And we'll begin to open up into that gentle spinal twist by just sliding the top palm over the bottom palm, over the forearm on the bottom, all the way up across the chest and collarbone, and open to the left. Doesn't have to come all the way. Settle here. That left knee is still out to the side, so we still have that 90 degree at the knee. And just begin to feel the opening through the chest, the pecs, the biceps, all the way to the finger. And then we'll bring that arm back up across the body for the palms to touch. And then we'll do it again, sliding and opening up to that T position. Each time, again, using the breath. The body knows where it's going now. So if you use the breath, it'll help soften into the pose. Take that arm back up towards the ceiling and palms to touch. Soften here. And this time we'll slide arm up and over. Maybe here you're opening a little bit more. Maybe you pick up the right shoulder tip and you scooch it over to the right a little bit, and notice if that helps you open up the chest, maybe lowering that left shoulder just a bit. Again, it's not necessary. You're getting the whole stretch here. It's just more to help you relax and feel grounded if you could get those shoulder tips down. We'll take 3 nice, deep, slow breaths here. And then we'll draw that arm back up towards the ceiling and over towards the opposite palm. Again, allowing the chest and the shoulders to just round and soften. And then we'll bring that left palm, the upper palm, to that push-up position. Press into the palm to release the right arm, finding again that Sphinx pose with half frog. So widen the fingers, press the palms down, and allow the chest to come forward towards the top of your mat, lifting the chest so that you feel the stretch. But again, squeeze those shoulder blades back and notice what that does to the shoulder tips when you squeeze the shoulders. Good. Nice and easy. We'll release the left leg to meet the right. Take a shimmy of the hips. Maybe bending at the knees and take a windshield wiper side to side. And then release the legs back down, slide the hands underneath the shoulders, and press your way up to a table. So as you arrive in your table, again, you know to stack your joints. Fingers again wide. Belly is scooped in so that whole pelvis, like you could just tuck it right inside those floating ribs. The back is nice and straight. We'll just flow some cat and cows. Now this is Friday, Freaky Friday. So you decide, you're gonna do the traditional cat and cow, or would you like to swivel the hips? You take what feels good in your body, but take it with breath. So on the inhale, either drop the belly and lift the tail and lift the chest. And on the exhale, you round and tuck everything in. A couple more just like that. Or maybe it feels good to look over one shoulder, getting a little side stretch, looking over the other shoulder. Just move with your breath. We'll take one more stretch here for the soft tissue under the arms, which is great to release some of that lymph fluid. So coming back to that neutral table, we're going to leave the hips right over the knees. We're going to walk those hands forward. Again, you can do one arm at a time, or just bringing the forearm across and resting your head on the forearm. Or if you feel more open here, walk both hands as far forward as you can, as far forward, leaving the hips right where they are. As you walk the fingertips forward, the chest falls, the forehead. And again, a great place for a block or your towel. So stretching the fingertips as far forward as you can. Keep that belly engaged so that there's no sag in the spine. There's this nice slope from the tailbone to the crown of the head, and a big extension from the soft tissue under the arms to the fingers. And then again, try and use your breath. This is a deep pose to allow yourself to relax and to release into it. And then walking those hands back, right underneath the shoulders. Just take a moment here. Set the hips back. We'll just find a child's pose to release the arms. Bring the arms beside the body, palms up. And then bring the hands right back under the shoulders and press your way up to a kneeling position. Good. So we're just going to finish the practice with a little bit of stretching into the legs. As you find your kneeling position, take that right foot forward, coming into a lunge. So again, stacking the joints, knees over the ankle. The hands can come to the thighs. It's a nice place because you can press into your thighs and you can lift the chest and you can lengthen through the spine. Again, soften those shoulder tips down. Draw in the belly. Take a nice deep breath. And we're just going to flow this with the half splits just to find some length into the hamstrings and the calf. So take another breath in. Bring the fingertips down. Peel the hips back. Any amount. I'm stiff this morning. Raise the toes. So I'm not so worried about a straight leg as I am about your straight spine. So your neck is right in line with your spine. Your spine is nice and straight. See if you can set the hips back just a bit more. Pause with the stretch. And then walk it forward back into your lunge. Okay, so we're going to move easy now. Hands walk back, hips go back, front foot comes up. Back is straight, gaze is straight down, neck in line with spine, and we take it back. So take 3 more here on your own. Maybe each time you find a little more length in that right leg. Begin to straighten it just a bit more, toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Hug in the belly and don't hold your breath. Okay, this last one in the lunge. Coming back. And here, as you're back in your lunge, stay here. Come forward a bit so you get a nice stretch through the left hip flexor. Again, we're not caving in, pressing into fingertips, lifting the chest, keeping the spine long. One breath. And then we'll take that front leg and we'll take it back. Maybe flow a cat and a cow as you come back to your table. And then bring yourself back into a kneeling position. And then we'll take it to the other side. So this time, left leg comes forward. Again, left knee, left ankle, left toes pointing straight forward. Hands come interlaced onto the thighs. Press into the thighs as you bring the hips forward just a bit, and then lift the chest. Lengthen the spine and draw in the belly. 3 nice breaths here. And we'll begin to flow this. So releasing fingertips down lightly on the mat. Shift the hips back. Lift the front toes as you straighten through the leg, half splits. Again, we're just starting on this side, so we don't force that stretch. Come forward again into your low lunge. Return back, hips back, toes up. And walk it back. So maybe 3 more times each time, noticing as you warm up those muscles in the calf and the hamstring, whether you're able to stretch the leg a little bit straighter. Again, it's not necessary. You're still getting the same stretch. Notice your breath. Notice your core. Sometimes when we work a hard area in the body, we just tend to let the belly, the breath go. So really important to pay attention. All right, one more here. And then we'll all meet back into that low lunge, pausing there. Shift the hips forward. So now we get the stretch right through the right hip flexor, right psoas. Press your fingertips in, lift your chest, draw in your belly, squeeze in your shoulder blades. Nice. Fingertips plant. We're going to send the left leg back to meet the right, back into our table. Again, take a couple cat-cows of your choice. And we'll close the practice in a nice hip stretch, but also a restorative child's pose. So coming back to that neutral table, take the big toe mounds together, let the knees go as wide as you can so that there's lots of room here. Set the hips back first. So I just bring myself upright first, set my knees so that I can adjust for my inner thighs and my outer hips, and then walk the hands forward. We'll stack the palms again, like we did at the beginning of practice. Elbows go wide, rest the head on the pad of the hands, and just let the torso fall into the space you've created between the thighs. See if you can relax the chest, maybe open the jaw, relax the jaw. Breathe into the back body, the side ribs. And this is where I'll leave you this morning. So just gift yourself a couple minutes of just breath. Maybe coming back to that idea of setting an intention with this new moon cycle. And then just release and relax on your back. Namaste. If you have the gift of time, turn off your device and stay.